The rematch that we've been waiting for, Cincinnati and Buffalo. Now, unfortunately, neither of these teams will be 100% heading into the matchup, but no excuses. They've got to step up. They've got to play ball. It's time to move on. But if you're Cincinnati, you're sitting back right now and hoping that your offensive line isn't nearly as bad as the weather will be in Buffalo this weekend. Cincinnati heads into Orchard Park to face the Bengals this weekend. Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs versus Jamar Chase. This is going to be a great matchup. The weather, however, may not see it the same way. Temperature won't be bad at 36 degrees, but strong winds the entire game. 12-mile-per-hour winds sustained throughout, and then wind gusts reaching higher than that. We know the kicking game will be a problem, but will it affect the passing game in any way? I feel like Cincinnati probably has more worries about another effect on their passing game than the wind. Hey, if you all remember last week before the Cincinnati video, I said we were going to be giving away an autographed Joe Mixon jersey, and I'm going to tell you all the winner here in a little bit, so make sure that you stick around, and in the video, I'll let you know exactly who's walking away with that prize. Surprisingly enough, Buffalo is the favorite, but only by 4 points right now. I have to be honest with you, a little bit shocked at that number after the way that they both played this past weekend, but Cincinnati at home, barely getting out of that game against Baltimore. I'm surprised this line isn't a little bit higher than 4 right now. And the biggest reason for that is really my number one key to winning for Cincinnati, and it's protecting Joe Burrow. Cincinnati kept their offensive line together almost the entire year, and now they have lost 3 starters heading into the playoffs. The offensive line struggled a little bit at the beginning of the year, but as the year went on, they gelled together, and then it became one of the best units to finish the season. But just like last year in the playoffs, I mean, Cincinnati would have won the Super Bowl last year if it hadn't been for their offensive line. And they find themselves in the same exact position now, going up against a Buffalo team that can absolutely exploit all of the injuries that they've had. And unfortunately, if you cannot protect Joe Burrow and give him enough time to find his receivers, there's no way you make it out of this game. This Cincinnati offensive line has got to step up, and they have got to play big, or Cincinnati will be headed home. For Buffalo, I just need you to be better than last week. I don't know what that performance was, but you just didn't look crisp last week, or as crisp as you should have. And now you're going to be getting a Cincinnati team coming in that can strike at any time. And yes, maybe their offensive line isn't playing that well right now and dealing with a lot of injuries, but they have all the tools and all the offensive weapons they need to beat you. Buffalo, you've got to show up this week. You've got to play better. You've got to tighten up that game in every facet of it. You need to be better in the passing game. You need to be able to run the football. Your defense needs to be able to get timely stops. I need everybody from Buffalo to show up this weekend. I need that same energy that you all had 2 weeks ago in week 18. When Nyheim Hines returned that opening kickoff for the touchdown, bring the same energy and passion in this game against Cincinnati. Unfortunately, recording this video earlier in the week means I don't really have a whole lot of prize picks that I'm loving right now. So keep your eyes over on prizepicks.com. Make sure you sign up with our code word headliners. Right now, the 2 that will probably be ones that I'm going to key in on are Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine receiving yards. Now, again, I don't know what they are yet, so I don't know if we're taking the over or the under, but we know that with that offensive line, we're going to have some dump-offs, and we're going to have to get the ball out quickly. That's where Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine really help out Joe Burrow. So keep an eye on Prize Picks, and I'll also be live Thursday this week to go over more Prize Picks with everybody and talk about maybe which ones that we should be buying into. All right, before I give you my final score prediction, I got to give a shout out to the winner of our signed Joe Mixon jersey, Direct Fire Dave. His comment was picked off the video last week. So Dave, you've got to reach out to us, info@thefantasyheadliners.com. We got to verify that you did sign up for Pristine Auction. And then if we do that and everything is good, we'll get your mailing address and we'll get this jersey shipped out to you right away. All right, final prediction for me. I'm taking Buffalo 27. 17. I just don't think the offensive line for Cincinnati will hold up long enough. And honestly, if Cincinnati's offensive line was fully healthy, I would probably have this score closer and maybe even Cincinnati walking away with the upset. But I do think Buffalo comes out with more energy. I do think they play better this week than they did last week, and I do think that they attack that offensive line and they get after Joe Burrow. They're going to make him uncomfortable. They're not going to give him enough time to find those deep plays down the field. And yes, Cincinnati will put up some points, but in the end, Buffalo will pull away late. Yo, everybody, hit that like button for me. Leave me a comment down below with your predictions and the score for this game. Make sure that I can check those out. Everybody stay safe and healthy. I'll catch you on the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners.